The music mogul Jermaine Dupri spills the beans on Jada Pinkett Smith and her past with a member of Kriss Kross, which raises eyebrows. This is a story about a celebrity that breaks the rules, and you won't want to miss it. This guy, I saying you think Jada Pinkett was tangled? She became involved with Chris Kelly. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fame Reporter Channel. Today, we're going to talk about an important topic that's been talked about a lot. Hollywood star Jada Pinkett Smith is in the middle of a scandal after Jermaine Dupri said she had done some bad things in the past. People, it looks like the world of stars isn't all glitz and glam. Dupri says that Jada raised Chris Kelly, a member of Kriss Kross who was too young to be in the band, by selling him drugs and getting too close to him. Yes, you heard that right. Jada Pinkett's friendship with Kriss Kross member Chris Kelly has been talked about for a long time. Kelly, who is known to his fans as McDaddy, shot to fame quickly when famous rapper Jermaine Dupri heard him, but personal problems got in the way of his rise to fame. His mother, Donna Kelly, said in public that her son had problems with drugs, which shocked a lot of people. I was like, what the heck? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yep, 14, 13, 13. But what came out later about the person who supposedly gave Kelly drugs and had a sexual relationship with him while he was still a minor was even more shocking. It was said that Jada Pinkett, who is well known in the film business, was the key person in Chris Kelly's fall. This claim was backed up by the fact that Dupri and Kelly's mother both agreed with it. Rapper Dez Dillinger backed up these claims, which made things worse. He said that Jada Pinkett and Chris Kelly were together when Kelly was still a minor. Dez says that Pinkett's liking for younger people didn't start recently, but had started back then. In an interview for 2021, Dez accidentally talked about what he thought was going on between Pinkett and Kelly. He said that when Pinkett was 22 years old in 1993, she started dating Kelly, who was not yet old enough to legally date. None of my business. So does talk about a time when Pink went to see Chris Kelly and left them some drugs to use. He said, "You think Jada Pinkett was getting into something? Chris Kelly and she were together." From Kriss Kross's Chris Kelly. Many people say that Chris Kelly's first experience with drugs was a big reason why he became addicted and died tragically. When another rapper thought about what happened, he said, "Do you know that Daz also said Jada introduced Kelly to the same drugs that got him hooked and killed him for days?" When Jada Pinkett looked back on these things, she did when she was young, she saw them in a different way. Even though she was being accused of very bad things, he finished his story with what he calls an ironic shout-out to Pinkett. Damn, that's Jada Pinkett at a young age, 1993. Around that time, she was getting involved in Chris Kelly's life, and claims about Jada Pinkett's role in his life keep coming up, with charges that her influence was bad. Kelly's mom days and Lisa Pope are all signs that Pinkett Company is bad for the young rapper. Lisa, in particular, talks about how Kelly hanging out with the wrong people might have led him to do dangerous things that led to his unexpected death. Kelly's grandma was worried that he hung out with a dangerous group of people. Lisa told me that Chris's mother told her that she knew Chris would die young. His grandma told me that she heard this from Chris's mother. She had no idea it would be now. Even though these things worried him, Chris decided to hang out with people who weren't necessarily bad for him, but weren't necessarily good for him either. Pinkett was found to be a member of this group, which surprised many people on the internet. Since these accusations came out, social media has been busy. One internet user said so. Well, Jada Pinkett slept with Kriss Kross star Chris Kelly before he turned 18. This has been happening to both men and women, which is sad. Well-known rapper and record producer Jermaine Dupri seems to agree with Dap's claims. He says that Pinkett's drug dealing in the 1990s was a threat to young artists who were just starting out. 10 years ago, I was given plant medicine to treat my sadness, and it really helped. Jada has claimed that she sold drugs when she was in high school. This included the time when she met the rapper Tupac for the first time. Jada divulged, "When I first met PSC when we first met, I was a drug dealer." This is a very interesting fact that I've never really talked about before. She also said at the time that it was hard because she hadn't told the whole story. One interesting thing I've never really talked about before is that when I first met PSCs, when we first met, I was selling drugs. After the movie about Tupac's life came out, Jada talked about her past. She said that she was a drug dealer when she met Tupac. She said that something bad happened at that time, which made her change her ways and stop dealing. Reports say that she was reportedly selling drugs to Chris Kelly and having a sexual relationship with him around this time. This paints a troubling picture of the events that led to Kelly's downfall. So, the thing about plant medicine is that it not only makes you feel better, but it also helps you figure out why you were feeling bad in the first place. Chris Kelly's hard life has been written about a lot. Kelly's mother, Donna Kelly Pratt, and his uncle both talked about how he had trouble with drugs. The artist had been using drugs for a long time, and he even used dangerous combinations. Lisa Kelly's best friend said that he had been using drugs for a long time, so it wasn't a new problem. Instead, it was a big part of his life. Lisa says that I knew from personal experience that he used drugs, and I was one of the friends who could not stand that. She tried to stop the fight. Even though Kelly didn't want to, they tried to get him on Bone Celebrity Rehab. But he turned them down. Kelly really wanted a normal life, which he thought he couldn't have because of his fame in the 1990s. Kelly's death hit Jermaine Dupri hard. He was the producer who found Kriss Kross in a mall and made them famous with their hit song Jump. Dupri didn't just take on Kriss Kross as another act. They were the first people he signed with, and they helped him a lot. People often miss the details of how Dupri found Kriss Kross and helped them become famous musicians. As you said, Dupri's way of training artists was very personalized, and people were paying attention to them, which made me think they would be crazy if they had a record. This turned out to be the way he worked with singers at So Def Records from then on. Dupri's approach was a big part of why the label and each act did well. In a talk with Scott Goldman, the artistic head of the museum, Dupri dug deeper into the story of how Kriss Kross was found and how they became famous. He did this to show how complicated and hard it was for them to become famous. Jermaine Dupri Kriss Kross, the first band he signed to So Def, is a big reason why he is still doing well as a producer. It's interesting that Kriss Kross didn't start out wanting to be rappers or singers. Dupri says that you have to understand people in the world. Kriss Kross weren't rappers. They weren't kids with demos who walked around. They didn't want to be rap artists. They didn't want to become musicians. He found out that they were just two kids, and they became a big deal. In a different way, people have spoken up about accusations against star Jada Pinkett Smith. It is said that Jada gave drugs to Chris Kelly and that she had a close friendship with her. People on social media are very angry and want people to pay attention to the claims. As one internet user said, people aren't talking much about them. Coming along with me on this wild ride through the fascinating world of famous rumors. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button a lot. Don't forget to turn on alerts so you don't miss any new information. Until the next time, keep being curious, keep having fun, and keep leaving notes. Goodbye.